Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Eye on Icon, the episode where we go around the ecosystem and give you all the news that Donnie's managed to capture. He's still doing the great work for us. So once again, shout out to Donnie at the start of the episode. And with me today, Digital Dave. How are you, man?
Hey, thank you. I'm doing very well. How are you, Fez?
Yeah, good. Feeling tired, man. Feeling tired. Your time zones are opposite. See, now it's day for you, it's evening for me. Damn time zones. But
I thought for a second you were going to say that the markets have gotten you tired, but it's just the time zones.
it's just the time zones. The markets have just gotten me, like, shaking in bed when I wake up. Should I look at the phone? No, I won't look at the phone. I look at the phone and then I want to curl back into bed. But I'm sure everyone feels that way about markets. Well,
Yeah.
What a perfect segue. Shall we lead into it?
Let's have a look.
Look at that solid line I've got there. Ultimate line of defense. It still holds. Please hold. Oh god, good times.
It is a good time. It's a worldwide thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not too big on stocks and bonds, but whenever I capture some news flying around, people are predicting, like, they're comparing these times to the worst economic recessions that have happened in the past, like, decades. I wasn't there for that, but it doesn't sound very great.
Oh, look, yes. Look, you know what? I don't know, David. I shared with you that podcast, the Bankless podcast with Raoul Paul, who spoke. Did you get a chance to listen to it?
I did not.
Okay, I definitely recommend checking it out. Everyone listening, yes, I know I'm promoting another podcast, but it is actually really solid content. And
Key takeaway?
it was interesting hearing him talk about the markets, of all different markets, and the macro environment, and really giving context as to some of the world events that are happening. And usually when we're in this situation, which is rampant inflation and stuff like that, a lot of the triggers they pull, which is, higher rates, etc., which they're starting to do. However, it seems like the markets and everything have reacted already and much harshly than they anticipated. So it was good to hear him talk, because at the end of the day, what he's saying is what's happened has happened much quicker, which would lead to eventually the Fed and stuff kind of going, well, we can't keep tightening rates and we need to go back to the stimulus plan because the market has done it for us. Now, I am giving a super simplified explanation around this, but completely awesome podcast to listen to. It was one of a few weeks back with the Bankless guys, so definitely scroll through and listen and give it a listen. And it's not crypto related. Like, the good thing is he knows about crypto and he's tied in really well, but it's very much it's not, I guess that's not fair. It is crypto related, but it takes into account everything, and it gives such a good perspective. Like, I've shared it with a few people and they've listened to it and come back and said, hey, that was actually an awesome podcast. And you don't come out of it feeling bullish or anything. It's more just a matter of perspective to understand what is actually happening in the world today.
Let's slap it in the description.
Okay, that's a good idea. Good idea. Make sure I don't forget that.
Mental notes.
I'm notorious for saying in the show notes, don't worry, especially when I'm recording stuff and then I completely forget I said that. But, okay, so BTC, even BTC is not looking that good. You can see here my ultimate line of defense. Well, it's clearly cracked that. Well, let's get rid of this bearish bull. Sorry. What have we got here? Oof. I don't know. Look, let's see. I think, again, I don't know what to say here. It's not looking good. There's a lot of bearish sentiment out at the moment. There's a lot of consolidation happening here. Do we get a downward wick? I found so I don't know if people in the TA club in the Icon Discord, again, shout out, you need to be in there. It is sensational now. You've got perspectives coming in from on-chainers, TAs, everything. And so who is going to come on the show along with Bearish Bull, Digital Dave, exciting times.
Nice.
We'll try to tee that all up so we're all on together. And they, give a bit of both sides perspective. And my dog, I can't help it. I've left the door open as well. So I think from looking at Yaso's on-chain, what he was saying, it was more there's still a constant influx. It seems that when we crack that 30K, there seems to be a constant influx of BTC being pushed into the exchanges and sold, and that's what's causing it to drop. Now, it's a bit of a tug and war going on over here at the moment. What's going to happen? Who knows? But sentiment on chain is even looking bearish for the moment. But you know what they say, David.
Hasn't on-chain been looking bullish for like the past 8 weeks, regardless of the price dropping? The on-chainers, according to you, have always been positive. And now they've just capitulated, haven't they?
Well, yeah, I know. I hadn't been keeping too much tabs, but they always, based on what's coming in, going in, and that can change quite suddenly, right? So
yeah, let's hope it changes like in the next week.
Yeah. Oh well, ETH is getting slaughtered a little bit at the moment. This was a bit of a surprise as well. Looking at ETH, look at that ultimate line of defense holes. Geez, I'm not drawing these in before the show, by the way. Oh yeah, no, it's not looking good. But a lot of positive stuff happening for ETH as well, so it's very interesting what is going on. But it's just bearish. I think, David, as you said, in all the markets, it's bad. Things are bouncing up, but not that. Look at that. My dodgy lines apart. It's just terrible. So let's get on to the news, David, I think. Unless you have some Twitter vibes that you want to share.
None. People are less salty. It seems like the focus has shifted now from the price action. Everyone has kind of accepted that. And now it's more again about, you know the mantra in the bear market is to build and to follow the builders, and in diamonds, or what do they say, like unicorns are born in bear markets. People have been very keen to immediately hop on that sentiment because at least it has a positive outlook, and that's what we're seeing a lot, which kind of suits us, seeing as the Icon ecosystem is building. It has been. So it suits us. It suits our news.
Yep.
That's the Twitter sentiment right there.
No, it's a good sentiment. I think it's more so this time because there are working products and build actually means something. It's not the ICO, we're building and we'll show you. No, it's there. They're going to continue building and refining. Perfect. Love it. Okay, let's dive in. So first up, the block, we quickly touch on foundation news. If you haven't already checked it out, this AMA with Cyrus, who has introduced himself via this AMA. He is the technical lead who is looking after the BTP integration side of things. So again, reminder, BTP integrations is all the different chains we're integrating. That's, various teams are working on all these different integrations, and Cyrus is that technical lead, that central point, who is making sure everything is going the way it should be. It recently joined the foundation, recently, end of last year, so middle of last year, something like that. So it was great to hear from him. Did you get any takeaways, any shout outs on this, David?
Have I? The fact that he casually answered the questions, especially the top one listed there, are there any unannounced Icon Bridge or BTP integrations? And he goes, oh yeah, we've got Ethereum, coming up.
Moving on.
Next question. Yeah. So it was like the style of answering. Is that a developer thing? Is that a technical guy thing, just crossing them off, getting it done? I like that, going through. So that was my biggest takeaway, and people definitely hopped on that one as well. I think it was early on. I did read someone else who said, I'm watching it and it's boring, and I thought, yeah, could be. But this is what people have been asking for. People want to have a face to Icon development. People have been asking questions. You can ask them in the Discord. So, the developer doesn't have to do this. He's working on, technical stuff. Takes time to look at all these questions, formulate answers, get on a camera and dish out those answers. So there it is. This is what the people have been asking for, I feel, and they got it. I was happy to see it. I watched the whole thing, and Ethereum being announced just like that was my biggest takeaway. It made me very happy.
Yeah. Look, boring. People were never happy.
Yeah.
But look,
We should ask Cyrus to put on a little hat, maybe, or halfway through do a little improv dancing. I don't know.
look, at the end of the day, people have been asking for transparency, and we're getting it. Okay, like this is what I can see other chains. I see the way they give updates as well. This is kind of what they do. So we're starting to see that, and kudos. Yeah, I thought it was great. Hopefully we see more. In fact, I know for a fact Cyrus is keen to do more of this, and not just community questions. He wants to do the dev updates, kind of give recorded overviews of what's happened in the month and things. So stay tuned. That stuff's coming. I actually did reach out to him and had a chat, and he did say all these things to me. So we're in the right direction, everyone. We're in the right direction. I know the bull market's
Asking for a friend.
Yes.
Asking for a friend. Did he mention modern dance?
He didn't, but I will suggest it. He has got a suggestion box, and I'm going to send it to him.
Discord, isn't it?
Yes. Okay, next up, what do we got? The Stability Fund. So we talked about this at great length. I had Scott on the show. He broke down what the Stability Fund is. If you haven't, make sure you listen to that episode. But in this case, what he did say could happen has happened. IUSDC's cap has been hit. So he has kicked off conversations around options and suggestions. Now, I quite like this because he's just outlined various scenarios and what routes are and things like that, and then put it back on to everyone in the community to give a bit of feedback. So, he's talked through risks, everything, and things like that. Now, if you're interested in this and want to be part of the discussion, I encourage you to get on there, follow that tweet, get onto the forums and have a conversation. But there's a lot happening here. Basically, people are going back and forth on what suggestions they really like. That's all I have to add to it. But the goal is that if that's for you at the moment, because USDC is full in the Stability Fund, no more can be added to get BNUSD. So
because the Stability Fund is kind of cushioning the rebalancing effect on balanced, so it acts as an arbitrage opportunity before rebalancing kicks in. So it's like a line of defense. And what people have been doing is they've been using that arbitrage opportunity, but they've only been using it with IUSDC. And therefore, they've been putting in IUSDC, taking out BNUSD, and then whether or not they complete their little arbitrage circle, I don't know, but this is what's been happening. So indeed, as it stands, like the pool has reached this cap of IUSDC. And Benny, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see he's listed the route or the circle that you would have to take if you do the similar thing with USDS, which is also a stable coin, buy stably. It's just less like handy because it takes time to do certain steps.
But it is included, David, in the Stability Fund, and you can see he's actually called out it's far from its cap. And obviously, one of the reasons is, I believe, is you've got to get KYCs to get USDS, right? So people aren't taking as much advantage off it when they can move USDC.
And on top of that, he also mentions the full circle ARB costs is anywhere between 3 and 4%. So this would only be a viable ARB if the peg is floating, 5% off, which might happen, and people might, hop onto it. But as it stands, the USDC cap has been hit quite quick. So people have definitely hopped onto this Stability Fund opportunity.
Yep, definitely. So, look, it's interesting because then obviously it raises, like, the whole goal of the Stability Fund is then multiple assets, stablecoins can be included. So it'll be really cool with Icon Bridge. And you can see Lisa's in this conversation and she calls out that obviously we all know Icon Bridge won't be audited at launch. We know this, don't act surprised. And obviously we don't want to move funds until it is audited. But that will be happening, and I'm excited when the audits are done, David, because once BSC, Harmony, I don't even know if Harmony have their own stablecoin. I haven't seen anything. It's more for gaming thing. But when Moonbeam and obviously Snow come on board, that gives us that ALUSD, or is it AUSD, or the one on
Akala.
That's at Akala. So when that happens, I'm keen to do a bit of research on that coin, but keen to see how we aggregate a few of the different stables into the stability fund. But exciting times, stable times, unlike the markets. Okay, so the final Java smart contracts are almost ready for their mainnet release. So we can see that over here they've said, Balance team tweeted out and they said that as soon as the contracts are live, only staked balance will earn network fees and hold voting power. So currently the LPs also get network fees, is it?
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, so it's always been a double dip. It's been very smart, basically. Smart. It's been, if you want to maximize, your returns on balanced, you could pop them into an LP liquidity pool. Let's say balanced versus ICX. You would be getting the incentivization rewards, and on top of that, you were getting the fees. Staking your balanced was never really attractive because the network fees are relatively low as opposed to what you could be earning all over the place. So I'm very curious to see how the return for staked balanced is now going to shoot up, because all that balanced in liquidity pools is no longer eligible for their share. And I think there's a lot, but I'm not sure. This is a good thing because this is how it was originally intended, I believe.
Yep. No, exciting. No. I realized the LPs, because I noticed when I was using other platforms, this was never the case. You had an LP, you lost out, and I always thought, aren't we lucky at balanced? And that explains why. So Java is upon us. Java. Okay, next up we have, this was cool. So we keep calling it out. Monks Academy, they're doing a ton of different things via, obviously, through the DAO fund, have been funded. And I will keep calling out Arush and Stephen and Budweiser. Poopster's also in there, but definitely the three of them, Budweiser, Stephen, and Arush, lead the charge in all the work that happens for the monks. And thank you for everything they're doing. And this is cool. In the background, I'm also a monk and I heard of them, but I wasn't really following along or understood or comprehended the scale of what they were doing. And this was cool to see it come to fruition, these partnerships with various hit NFT projects. And you can see there's one, Tamashi. I actually really like the look of this. This was sensational. And David, I want your comments. I just want to call out, to win these, you just got to get in there, follow, join their live sessions, follow Twitter, jump on Discord, and you could win. It's that simple. So they're just looking for a bit of engagement here, and overall, if you get involved in this, hopefully get some more people looking at Ohm and using the protocol as well.
Yeah, so Monks Academy started incentivizing engagement by handing out like NFTs and actually like Ohm cash prizes. And they did so with the first initial batch of like native Ohm NFTs. And now they've come around with a batch of NFTs that are collaborations of Ohm with other known Icon ecosystem NFT collections, and they look really good. If I had to rate, I would rate these 9 out of 10. Whereas the initial batch, because it's new and I didn't know, it didn't have that recognizability, I would just rate it average. I don't know, 6, 7 out of 10. And these, like this Tamashi, indeed, and I think I've seen a couple now pop by because I like those colors. I like those Ohm colors, and I like that that comes back now in this Tamashi. I would love to have this, and all you need to do is show up in the Ohm Discord, have a chat, and engage with their discussion, I believe.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, it's going to become so much more interesting to do that once Icon Bridge is porting in different tokens and coins into that borrowing and lending market that Ohm is. I think a lot of people, I've said this before, a lot of people are going to do a 180 on Ohm and they're going to be like, whoa, is this the best platform we have in the ecosystem?
Yeah, look, interesting, because I have found myself using Ohm. So, for example, I actually use Ohm. I have my ICX on there now. Not financial advice, while my ICX is on there, I just borrowed a very tiny fraction of it, and I supply BNUSD, and I borrow that, and I'm earning own tokens, and I just do it that way. I don't have to worry about rebalancing. And even in the current markets, I've got my thing so low that I would literally have to ICX get to 2 cents for my stash to be at risk. But yeah, it's you just got to look at it differently, and there's opportunity. I'm earning solid 13% APR my BNUSD, which is great. So yeah, agree. I think it's underrated. I think the boosting models will, once people click with the potential, it will start to attract eyes as well, and opportunity for builders. I always call this out. We are in the time of building. Why not build, once boosting comes out?
And Ohm is just being plagued by its launch and token price action. People have just basically dismissed it because the native token gets sold off, and there's a large supply, so a lot get given out, in rewards and such. But that'll turn around, because that kind of the inflation comes down, like it's in the graphs. You can see that, and its utility is just going to increase. I think that's because the utility has kind of remained stable over time. Like they launched with like all these options of stuff that you could do, and not much has been added ever since. But I feel like once stuff is going to be added with new Icon Bridge ported in tokens and coins, it's gonna start, like, it's gonna grow wings, and it's gonna start flying again.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah,
I know. Just moving BNB and ETH across, and they have markets all of a sudden. You've got a world of opportunity here, especially if BNUSD is still paying you to borrow. Can you imagine? Well, look. Overall, I think there's just, we're so close to a lot of exciting times ahead. Like, I think Min, and I'm now sidetracking and ranting a little bit, but in a good rant, Min put out a tweet, saying addressing Icon had been siloed for a long time, but now with Icon Bridge about to launch, and yes, it's going to be a slow process because it's not audited, etc. But when we get there, the floodgates are open for opportunity. With the incentive program, with ice and snow coming into the picture, all of a sudden, I'm willing to bet there's going to be a ton of opportunity, not just on Ohm, not just on Balance, but PancakeSwap, whatever launches on the Snow chain when it does. Yeah. Time travel. 3 weeks. No, 3 months. No, 6 months. Let's not get carried away. They'll say, Fez said 3 months.
Easy now.
Okay. Optimus, David, we had a bit of a stint around this. I want to say, though, after a conversation, I noticed a lot of people actually kind of agreed and said, hey, yeah, agree. I don't know what they were agreeing around. Was it the VPN issues, or which I realized I didn't raise that, or around making more awareness around the Fin token. So I noticed as well the first proposal. I haven't seen a proposal before, so proposal has gone up. So if you're a Fin holder who is only staking, you can't vote if you're in the LP pools. I tried. If you're staking, this is to increase the performance fee, which is basically, I believe, no, I'm hoping I've got this right, but the performance fee would be the yield. It takes a cut off the yield, I'm hoping, not the deposit. So
that was my take. Yeah,
cool. So it's bringing it up to industry standards. You know what, David? I didn't realize it was from the yield. So I kind of looked at this and I got a bit annoyed. But now that I actually have understood it, no, this is fair. I remember even Harvest Finance in the old days, like Wire, and they took 30%. It was quite a decent chunk. So because at the end of the day, they were doing all the large transaction, absorbing all those fees. But in Icon, we don't have that. But 5% is nothing. 15% where you don't have to worry and they automate and your stash is safe, etc. Totally worth it. So overall, though, this is great. But the fees, they go to the stakers. Okay, so see, this is the value prop for Fin that we were addressing last time, isn't it, David? So good to see this. On a side note, I have actually reached out to the team and gave them feedback based on our conversation, saying, hey, probably time, you revitalize what the Fin token's about, just to remind people, because so much has been happening, and they've taken it on board. Neo, who's been fantastic, puts out quite good content about Optimus, has been actively working on more content, more videos. I saw the Iconist did a video. Did you see that, David?
No.
Oh, yeah. It was yeah, good on them. They're getting content out there. It was quite snazzy. Good to see them covering a range of topics as well. But Neo himself is also going to make content, more video content as well around the platform. So they're listening, taking on feedback, and good to see.
Okay, well, in that case, I've got some more feedback.
Oh.
Can you just hit that Optimus logo top left, just so it restarts the page, or
No.
maybe just remove vote from your URL and have a look at the home page? Because this is something I mentioned before. You said people agreed with us. Oh, it doesn't happen right now. Sorry. What happens is when you go to optimus.finance, it gives you, before you've signed in or anything, it gives you a 404 error on landing. Like if you do it fresh, coming in.
I've never had that ever.
Oh, I get it all the time. And I said, hey, I went into the MOEM, you know how there was prior to Discord, and I said, hey, this is happening, you know, and not a great look for people coming in, first timers. And the response was, yeah, we know. And then lately I've been going back in again, and it's still happening to me. So I was thinking, guys, we need to get this kind of stuff sorted, and we need to get it fixed. But you've just mentioned it's being addressed and it is being sorted.
I don't know if
and that's all you need to hear.
I didn't raise that. I didn't know that was happening. So I'll actually, after this recording, after this podcast, I'll reach out to Neo and say, hey, still getting messages around this. No, I didn't know that. Cool. Okay.
Hey, but it might be Murphy's Law, because if it's not happening right now, it should have. That could mean that maybe 2 days ago it was still there. Today it's fixed. So we've triggered Murphy's Law here, and we're fixing issues by talking about them. Perfect. Cool. Hey, and that vote module on Optimus, was added a couple of weeks ago. This is actually the first governance vote that Optimus is doing, and it looks slick. It works well. I like that they have that little pulsing active button. Yes. And this is exactly the way it's supposed to work and go down. So I'm very excited to see more proposals come through, and we get to vote on it. And this is another value proposal for the Fin token, because the weight of your vote depends on how much Fin token you hold. So if the next proposal is going to be, hey, we want to turn this entire app pink, and we want to make it look terrible. If you don't hold any Fin, you can't vote. So that's the governance side of things.
Definitely. Look, yeah, cool. Okay. Next one we have Icon DAO have been on a roll now. If you don't remember this was actually a CPS proposal. They went for funding and it almost got rejected, but thank God it didn't, because this is the sort of stuff we need. And they are out there teaching new people about blockchain, e-learning platform, and it's focused in on deving stuff on Icon. So
so good.
Pretty cool.
This is what you want to see. I'm so happy that this, well, first of all, that they've got the capacity to organize this, and then that it got voted in. The response is everyone's calling it fantastic. Like you and I, we're two guys. We're sitting in a room talking about this stuff, but they're out there with a class full of people, laptops open, learning how this actually works. Right? Yeah. They're learning what it is that we actually would want to know.
And who knows? Like building future strategies for Optimus. Look, it's all lining up. But yeah, no, sorry, David, didn't mean to cut you off. I was excited.
No, that's okay. Hey, this is an e-learning platform, so you and I, we could enroll.
I know, but I mean the likelihood of me finishing it, I'm not going to lie, man. It's not looking good. Okay, what do we got next? Gangster Bet. This is good. This is good. I haven't read the article, full disclosure, but what I liked about it is Gangster Bet has evolved so much. The original CPS 5,000 collection, etc. So much has happened. Metaverse now, and they've released this article, which is just giving full context about everything, every step of the way. So if you've been looking at Gangster Bet going, I've just lost my marbles, I don't know what's happening in terms of Gangster Bet, I can't keep up, I wish there was some way to get a bit of a reset and understand everything, this article is the one you need to read. Have you read it?
I've scanned it looking for stuff that I didn't know already, and the more you scroll down, the more you find the stuff that you may not have known already. But it's a great accumulation of information on what's happening altogether. That's the Golden Keys. That's their latest edition. They've been dropped to a bunch of people. They're being actively traded. I've seen sneak peeks of the civilians that you're going to be able to mint, and they actually look really cool as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's heating up. I feel the temperature rising with Gangster Bet, the metaverse that they're building. I'm seeing these little. We talked about it last time, how their logo is changed. It's slicker. The wallet page on the Gangster Bet marketplace, like it's like everything is. You can see it's gearing up for that launch and release. And they do the occasional update where they say, "Hey, we're doing this, we're doing that," and they share a screenshot. And you get a sense that it's moving.
Yeah,
I feel like it's heating up. And I'm very excited to see, what's going to happen, because right now the activity. Well, they've just dropped those story keys and all that, but the attention of the icon community has obviously gone left and right to different, ventures popping up and projects and this and that. And Gangster Bet has been kind of, when you build, you kind of move to the background because people are like, okay, not much is coming out, not much is happening. But low key, that's exciting, because then at some point there's going to be delivery, and with Gangster Bet, they deliver.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for them doing so, and it could be in the next couple of weeks, I feel. Don't pin that. It could be in the next couple of months as well.
Contact them. We've disclosed dates. You just got to deliver now. Ship. No. Look, great article. Make sure you get across it. I know maybe people listening, hopefully, wanting us to cover it, but there's just a lot. It's basically telling the history and how things have evolved, how things work, and so you really should read it if you're interested. Okay, let's move on now. This is thanks to Donnie's collated some of the stuff. Now, Studio Mirai, they have, I don't know if you've been seeing these tweets, David. I just thought people had actually cracked it and gone mad. Misfortune events, and they start tweeting on Twitter, and obviously it was Mirai related, but I thought something bad had happened, and chaos had won or something like that. But it is some kind of competition they got going on. Are you across it, David?
Not entirely, no. Even though I've had an experience with the Wheel of Misfortune, I believe. It's where all the names. Yeah, if you join in on Discord, get your name in. So it's Kotaro from the Tamashii community, who is the ringleader, the ring troll, and he's the creative director launching all these types of games.
Yeah.
He had everyone post certain gifs in certain channels, and then your name got on the big wheel, and they kept spinning it, and every time a name got selected, it got shot off, and whoever remained at the end won a prize, and people kept trying to get back in.
Yeah.
This is probably named after that in different forms, and I think what it is a lot of prizes, a lot of engagement around Tamashii, because they are coming in with a big collection that is called the Machine, and it's going to be a 10k collection, I think, divided in 3 drops of 3. I've read chains, about right? I'm unsure. I've read I've seen sneak peeks, and that sometimes spoiler alerts come through, and it's always like when I get those notifications, I'm quick to click and to have a look, because I'm very curious. They had such a great success with their Tamashii, call it a first round, with the story, ever developing story, by the way, and the launch of their OG Tamashii, and people really getting into it on the secondary markets. So they've had success like Gangster Bet has, and just like with Gangster Bet, I'm very curious to see their next phase in development. I believe there's a white paper coming. I believe there's a talk of a token. Obviously, market downturn might push back certain plans, but there's building nonetheless. So a very interesting one to keep following.
Definitely. Next up, now, just very quickly, Project Nebula dropped that You can now use workshops and probes to uncover the mysteries hidden deep within your planets. Now, I didn't realize this. I haven't floated. I've actually transferred computers, and my floating happens on another computer, and I haven't checked it. I need to set it up on this computer. But yeah, I don't know, David. Have you been? I didn't realize to check my planets to see if I can do anything new. Have you? Oh wait.
I have floated in a far away galaxy, kind of trying to 100%, a sector where you get every single tile, and eventually then you're allowed to mint that in a blueprint, I believe.
Yeah.
I haven't done so yet, so that's been my main focus, floating around, clicking. A lot of updates have been coming through from Project Nebula. I feel it's in terms of gameplay, like, as you know how we jokingly say that all we do is float. We click around, we try to find and scavenge stuff. That's also a very low attention type of playing this game, because all you do is you log in, you click around a bit. Yeah, it's good, nice to see, and you're off again. But the gameplay element is ever expanding, so you can now actually come in and get tied into the lore, into the stories, go looking for certain things in certain sectors. So that's really going to have this magnetic effect on the game. And I've even done a couple of missions, and I must say it was quite fun. It had me looking at the clock and thinking, I'm waiting for my fuel to regenerate because I want to finish this mission, and then strategically I'm going to go there because that's where the next mission starts. So I've done a couple of those, and that was already quite some fun, and that's a while ago. And in the meantime, they've launched the crafting, so you can get like certain substances, put them together and create something new. Now, surveying, I'm not doing these things at the moment, so I couldn't tell you, the gist of it, but it's something that I know that I will be doing in future.
Yeah.
So rain check.
Yeah. No, well, look, it's out. If you're listening, make sure you go check out what it's about. Okay, next up. Now, Claws sold out. I mean, at some point, the way they were just trying to push it, I knew it was going to sell out. And congrats! Let's be happy for them.
Yeah. If we had the soundboard now, we would do the applause, right?
Yeah,
because this is a 10K collection selling out within a week, is it? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
On Icon, it's a first for Icon. And we've scrutinized it a bit at the beginning. I've had the feeling that it's in good hands. So I'm just very curious to see what happens now. Like, that's 10K times, what was it, 200 ICX? I know there was giveaways and whatnot, but that is a lot of money. So I think what's going to go down?
I'm just sour. I checked all my rarities because it's on rarity as well. They're all just crap. So I'm just on the bot. Literally, I got 8,000 off the 10,000. My collection that I bought is all around the 8,000 mark. I call Jid. Nothing. I'm not criticizing the project. I'm just upset about my.
There was a certain wallet who had only minted 3 claws.
Yeah.
I'm saying only, but that's a lot. That's 600 ICX. I'm just putting it into perspective. There's whales floating around who minted 300. This wallet minted 3 and allegedly minted the rarest claw there is out there, like a full set albino vampire, I believe.
Oh, there it is on the thing. My goodness. Okay, lucky.
And that's just something I read in the Discord, and I thought to myself, what a lucky person.
I know. And that
but
was
not you,
not me. Definitely not me. I'm number 8,800 and something.
That's a good place though.
So then the other, what was this? So finally, the snapshot is happening. Well, I think it's happened today for me. Well, I'm in the future, so I think for everyone else tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to happen in 3 or 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is they're going to have a look at all the wallets that own the claws, and for every claw NFT that is in that wallet, 70K claw token is airdropped to that wallet. And this claw token is going to have utility moving forward. One of the utilities is you're going to need it if you want to move your NFT cross-chain. Your NFT will mutate, so it will change. So Fez, your not so rare claws might mutate into something very rare. Not entirely sure how it's going to work, but you'll need the claw token to do so. And those claws are going to be airdropped to your wallets after the snapshot that is happening today.
Ah, cool. I didn't know what the use case for claw was. I just thought, I have the claw token. So that's great. Okay, excited to see that. Cool. I'm excited to see my 8,000 rarity turn into number 3 or 4. Come on. So yeah, cool. Okay, let's keep moving on. Yeti Strong Club. Oh. So you can see 2 hours away. So by the time you're going to listen to this, it will be out. This is another collection of 10,000. This time only 100 ICX, and it has been bought to you by Framed, and we've covered Framed. I've had them on the podcast. They've got a white paper with unique tokenomics. Now, this particular collection is something that will give you the Frame token for 1 year, and it will probably be the max. Based on the tokenomics, I think it's from memory 1.25 or 1.75 per day frame token, and no other collection will give you such a high emission rate and ongoing for the next year continue to earn you frames. So kind of like if I was talking, think GangsterBet giving GBet, while GBet was used to upgrade whatnot. In this case, Frame doesn't use to upgrade necessarily that we know of. Frame token would be given out, and the goal is to stake it because then you learn yield based on various factors that is covered in the white paper, which is quite awesome. I don't want to spend time breaking it down because we already have. David, have you got your credit card ready?
I've got my I'm definitely gonna get myself a Yeti. So what's important to point out here is that the Yeti Strong Club, this is an NFT collection. It's going to drop 10k NFTs in different rarities that are all explained on their website, yetistrongclub.io. And it's being launched within the Framed ecosystem. So Framed is going to act as a cushion or a bubble that's going to wrap NFT collections on Icon. And what it does is it helps these artists launch their collections. It helps them explore what it means to launch NFT collections because artists are not developers. Framed helps with that. That's one thing that Framed does. And Framed is an ecosystem that has its own incentive structures, mechanisms, and token. Yep. And what happens from now moving forward is that the NFT collections that get launched from within the Framed ecosystem, you will receive 1.5 Framed token for every 1 ICX that you spend on NFTs. So if you buy a 100 ICX Yeti, you will receive 150 Framed tokens, as is written in their white paper. Mm-hmm. On top of that, with this particular collection, because it's the inaugural collection for Framed, with the Yeti Strong Cup collection, you will also receive 1 Framed token per day per NFT for the next year. So that's the GBet comparison there, GangsterBet and GBet. So a Yeti will be yielding Framed token for an entire year, but that's just these Yetis. If the next collection comes along to launch within the Framed ecosystem, another artist, another collection, another plan, idea, and vision, you will get your 1.5 Framed token per 1 ICX that you spend on that NFT, but it won't be yielding throughout the whole year unless they announce that. Yeah. But as it stands, this is a true Yeti Strong Club thing. So if you have read that white paper, I've done a big long thread on it, kind of breaking it down, and are excited about the Framed ecosystem, this Yeti Strong Club is your entry into that. So you would want to participate, get those inaugural benefits, and I'd be very excited to see where this goes because I thought that white paper looked really good, and I hope that they can grow their ecosystem, and I kind of have a feeling that they will be able to do that too. So definitely grabbing myself a Yeti. Yeah. Have you seen them?
Yeah, if you actually go into their Discord, they've put up a little bit of I think maybe they've even tweeted it out now, this clip of all the various Yetis. But it's cool, you can see down here, they've actually got tribes, and each tribe is rarer, and there's allocation, so it'll be cool. Now, one thing to call out, if you want to mint, it'll be minting on the website. When the clock goes to 0, I saw a button will be switched. Andrew, Token Tech Guy, will hit the giant red button, and boom, you should be able to mint your Yetis. Now, they did call out that it will take a tiny little bit of time to appear on Craft. Its exact count was not as long as Claws, just while the backends get hooked up. But you should be able to see your Yeti quite soon. So exciting times. I think it'll be cool. I think there's a ton of utility being built. I have heard a little bit of alpha that I can't dish, but it's pretty cool. I'm lining up with this one. Not financial advice. I genuinely want to support the team behind this. I've seen them do insane hours across various projects and always deliver and keep delivering. Metrics is a great example where they just keep doing. They get nothing from it. In fact, it just costs them money, but they keep doing and making sure it's kept together for everyone to use. And they've had a lot of success in the NFT space doing other stuff. And remember, they've already announced under Frame they'll have a TCG game coming out. I've seen a couple of cards and things around this, and Alton, who's done a bit of work, is awesome dev as well, who works on this stuff. So good times for Frame, personally, I believe, and they're just getting started. So cool to see. And now, look, last piece of news. If you didn't know, Invictus, they have launched a testnet. There's a new testnet version of the game out, and you can do a few things there. So they're actually encouraging everyone to, feel free to go around and mess with it and do things. That's Iron Icon. Yeah, I don't know. Have you had a chance to look at this yet, David?
I haven't, but I've just seen this now and I'm popping it into my browser. I will. First thing, gonna have a look at this one because this has been floating around in the background. It went for CPS, it got approved, but the funding was drained.
Yeah.
So it came into the next round of CPS, and it would do so 2 or 3 times until it gets funding or is out completely. Strong feeling that this will receive the funding required.
Yeah.
Brandon, who is working on this, he's already building, as you can see right now.
Yeah,
so
totally.
like the build is happening, and I'm curious now to dive into this. It's on testnet.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Reliant Node people. HANA wallet is being upgraded to 2.0.
Yes.
And it's a dream switching blockchains. So it'll be easy to get on testnet.
Yeah.
And check this out.
Oh,
the website looks amazing.
How good is the HANA wallet to switch to testnet? And what I love is it's got Polkadot, Binance Smart Chain, and you can literally then pick them and switch to testnet, so you don't have to run around figuring out where's the testnet, what testnet. Even Ethereum, it's got all the testnets just listed in there. It's fantastic. Oh, really loving what they're doing. Although, no, I love it all. Okay, David, I think let's call it. I can hear your Discord going off. People want you, and I am overdue to finish up for the evening. As always, everyone, thanks for listening. Not financial advice, just a couple of guys who really love the ecosystem, want to bring the news to everyone and make sure our builders and everyone who's doing something and everything get noticed. And as always, like, share, subscribe. Come on, only 300 and something subscribers in the new channel. I know we can do better than that. So if you aren't subscribing, just hit the button. It's just a click away. Come on, you can do it. David, as always, a pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care.
Pleasure being here. Bye.
Bye.